you can't, you see, okay. Okay. There's two kinds of people. No, there's lots of kinds of people. People aren't even kinds. They're individuals, no two alike. But for the purposes of today, there's two kinds. And we're the other kind. And that's why no candles. You can have cake till the cows come home. Cake's the important part. But as soon as you have candles, burning candles on top of a cake, this thing kicks in, the wishing thing. And wishing is for suckers. And if wishes were horses, then beggars would fly, and they don't. I know what I'm talking about. When I was 5, I wished harder than any other 5-year-old in history. Pretend you're me on my 5th birthday. It's only 3 years ago you turned 5. You can imagine this. By then, I've had 4 experiences of make a wish, and I don't even know what that means. And then blow them out. So by my 5th birthday, I get it. I figure out what is a wish, what are candles, and how it all connects to the thing or things I want. Because that's what it's all about, right? Getting what you want. So I'm turning 5. I fully believe in the power of blowing out candles to grant wishes. I'm squeezing my eyes so tight that I crush a baby tooth. And do I get my wish? Never you mind what it was. Just know it did not come to pass. It doesn't matter what it was. The important thing to remember, to learn, what I want you to learn is that those birthday wishes, they're a myth. A myth. You know what a myth is, right? A great big cheat. I learned. On birthday number 6, when they put those lit candles in front of me, I told my little brother he could wish and blow. Let him wait and wait and wait for a wish that never comes true. And then the Trevor thing happened, and that's when I knew. Oh, yeah, Trevor. Around the time I was turning 8, I began to wonder, so if wishing doesn't work, how do I get what I want? Well, first off, I had to figure out what I wanted. Not a toy, not a dress. I wanted to sit at the lunch table with Callista, Monica, and Trevor. They were never going to invite me. They never even spoke to me. They were pretty, each one prettier than the next. And if I sat next to them, it meant I was pretty too, pretty by association. I studied them for a few lunches. Nobody ever dared sit with them. It was just those 3 and their pathetic bagged lunches. Limp sandwiches on white bread, a few carrot sticks, and dying apples. Their parents hated them. The next day, I packed my lunchbox with 3 extra cookies. I sit at their table, they aggressively turn away, but I'm prepared. Slowly, I bring out the baggie with the 4 big cookies. Oh, my mother gave me the wrong dessert, I say real loud. I'm supposed to get 1 cookie and my dad gets 4. He likes to dunk them in his coffee when he gets his afternoon break. That's why he gets so many. I can't possibly eat them all. How long do you think it took them to take my cookies? And once the cookies were taken, Callista, Monica, and Trevor had to include me. I clinched the deal by pretending I hadn't read last night's reading. I asked them to tell me about it. People love to show you how smart they are. You just have to give them the chance. So the pretty girls turned out to be pretty boring, but Trevor and me got along. We both liked the same subjects, and pretty soon we started to have lunch at other tables by ourselves. But that's not the point. Trevor's birthday is the point. He invited the whole class to his party. His mother was baking a 7-layer chocolate cake, and he got to pick out the candles. Candles? Oh no, I thought. And then he told me what he was going to wish for: a 10-speed. He was so excited. I didn't have the heart to tell him that wishes don't come true. At the party, at the crucial candle moment, he squeezed his eyes shut and blew. And then he tore through all the wrapped presents until there were none left. Broke my heart. I couldn't let him suffer. I was about to pull him aside before he embarrassed himself by crying in front of everybody when his mom said, "Oh, I nearly forgot." And his dad wheeled a new 10-speed right across the living room carpet. My jaw dropped. I had it all wrong. It took me a whole day to figure it out. There are two kinds of people: the people who get their wish and the people who don't. I was one of the people who don't. It made me stop being friends with Trevor. I couldn't be friends with someone who could just wish his longings into existence. And then this other thing happened. It was a few months later, right before spring vacation. It was unfortunate and horrible. It took me a long time to get over it. And me telling you about it doesn't mean you get to cheat. I was a terrible speller. I could never remember when it was I before E. I couldn't tell the difference between EL and LE, ITE or ATE or ETE, SION or TION, ABLE or IBLE. Letters wouldn't stay in my mind for the test. I'd break into a sweat and fail the whole thing, even the words I knew. And it got worse as the year went by. And then, before we went on vacation, the teacher announced that the next spelling test was going to help the school decide what track they were going to put us on. What was I going to do? On the test day, I was a slobbering mess. I was going to get put in a low track, and my parents were going to be mad, or worse, disappointed. So I chose to accidentally peek at the paper next to me. Sure enough, the girl whose paper I looked at busted me to the teacher, and I was labeled a cheater. Label, EL, not LE. My life was ruined. No one would eat lunch with me. If only I could pass a spelling test. I wished I could, but since I am one of the kinds of people whose wishes did not come true, I did something else. I made spelling flashcards and had your Uncle Bernard test me. He loved to correct me. It made him feel superior, and I hated his superiority. Superiority, ITY. I hated it so much that I practiced until I got them all right. I never failed a spelling test again. I never wished. I planned. My desires were simple, so my plots and solutions were simple. My longing never exceeded my ability to get it. If I couldn't figure out a scheme, I let go of the longing. World peace, equal justice under the law, fewer little brothers? Let other people scheme for those. I'm not saying it comes naturally. What comes naturally is wishing. You see it, you want it, you wish for it. It's much easier to just wish. But watch out if you ever wish and get. That's the biggest trap. One day you find yourself thinking something like, "I wish my hair was a natural blonde." No, bad example. More like, you wish you could get a scholarship to the big university so mom and dad don't have to pay for it. And the next day, I get a letter offering me a full ride to the state college. Not an exact match, but close enough to maybe trick you back into wishing. But that scholarship only happened because I worked my tail off. Stupid flashcards, endless nights of grunt studying, missed parties, friends I didn't have, dates that didn't happen, which is to say, I know those girls you invited to your party, those pretty girls, those girls who don't look anything like you. I don't want you wishing you looked like them because it's just not going to happen. And it doesn't need to happen because because you are pretty. You are so pretty, and you don't need to look like anybody or wish to look like anybody or be anybody but who you are. Why are you smiling? I'm serious and I'm worried. And oh, you know, you already know. What kind of cake do you want?